Namaskar. Hello friends. Today we will discuss one very hotly debated but never conclusive topic, namely free will. Whether we have free will, whether there is a predestiny, what drives action? Imagine two neighbors. One gets a desire to have fritters, that is pakoras, from the vendor at the street corner. So he gets up and goes out to fulfill his desire. Thus, the desire and the energy in him caused him to do the karma, that is the action of walking to the vendor and eating pakoras. But let us say that his neighbor did not have this desire to have pakoras. So he did not have to perform any karma for that either. Now would we say that the second person avoided the karma? No. Would we say that the second person missed something? Again no, because he had no desire for the pakoras. So where is the question of missing something? The same applies to life in general. One person is driven by worldly desires and naturally engages in many worldly actions. Another may not be driven by any worldly desires. That is, in other words, he is spiritual and hence may be seen by other people as unmotivated, lazy, wasting his life, etc. But at the same time, his spiritual desire would be moving him to engage in actions like sadhana, that is meditation, satsang, that is company of spiritually inclined people, and reading of spiritual literature, etc. Desire is like a magnet, and our body is like an iron piece. Like a magnet moves the iron piece in its vicinity, desire will move the body into action. Philosophies about destiny notwithstanding. Even when, for example, the first person desires of eating pakoras is dominated by tamas guna, that is laziness, he will order someone else, like his son, to get the fritters, that is pakoras, or ask his wife to make them. That is also action on his part. Some people argue that a belief in destiny may make a person demotivated and thus prevent him from action. But in the light of the above example, that may not be the case. A desire will move a person to act. Of course, lack of desire is a different matter, and if that is regarded as lack of motivation for any action, it does not matter for the person concerned, because the action is not required by him at all. The important point here is that this is something that is different for each individual and is not amenable to assessment by others. Thus, it all depends on what one's state of mind is and what the particular combination of gunas, that is the three fundamental constituents that make up a living being, in the individual drives him to. So in that sense, one is like a robot. A certain inner programming drives him. Can we definitely say that the first person above had a free will that he exercised and went ahead to have pakoras? Whose free will, and where did it arise from? At the most we can say that the collective of the body, mind, and whatever else that is present in that assorted bundle that we call a person exercise the free will. But even then, the process is so complex And it is such an intricate interplay of many different phenomena that the free will is not really free in the strictest sense. In other words, the I is not a very clearly identifiable entity that can be pinpointed for the physical or mental acts that a person seems to be doing. So I feel that what we commonly call as destiny may not necessarily be predefined. That is, everything that happens may not have been very clearly laid down beforehand. Nevertheless, everything that happens may be happening without a single point, identifiable control center that can be identified clearly, guiding it. Everything that happens is certainly not at the free will of the I that one consciously seems to identify with. Human beings are like kids in the sandpit. Do we have free will? Yes, we do. But wait till you read my explanation fully. Imagine yourself sitting beside a water pond. You can see the reflection of sun in it. You can disturb the water and the reflection changes temporarily. Soon the reflection returns to its normal form. Even when the reflection changed temporarily, nothing happened to the real sun. Our free will scenario is something similar. We have the freedom to do many things, but they do not amount to anything more than disturbing the sun's reflection in the pond. Or it is as if the Creator has put us inside a sandpit, that is this physical world, and given us the free will to do anything with the sand. We are playing with the sand, but nothing really changes insofar as the Creator is concerned. So he is not bothered about what we are doing inside the sandpit. The Creator's scheme is bigger than the sandpit in which we are having some fun. And the Creator knows that so long as we are inside the pit, we cannot do anything to disturb his bigger picture. That is why he has given us the free will inside the sandpit. We need to get out of the sandpit to see the bigger picture of the Creator. For that, we need to grow beyond the sandpit mentality, that is limited body-based ego, and get out into real world with a sense of responsibility, which is true spirituality. That is the prerequisite before the Creator can feel confident that we are worthy of getting out and living in the real world outside the sandpit. Do we have freedom to act, or are we completely pre-programmed? I am like a dog tied to a bullock cart. The cart is on to a specific mission and will reach its destination as per the plan of the cartman. My lifetime in this particular incarnation corresponds to a brief rest taken by the cartman. I have freedom to do what I like within the circle defined by the length of the chain with which I am tied to the cart. I may jump around, go left, go right, lie down, sleep, or just look around. But all of this activity can happen only within the confines of the circle defined by the cart as the center and the chain as the radius. I can't see the cart or the cartman, nor can I see the chain, but I do feel the pullback exercised by the chain from time to time when I try to go beyond the circle. My circle is overlapped by many other circles of other beings tied to their different carts by their invisible chains. I come to know these other beings and develop some attachments to them. That is my family, friends, acquaintances, etc. There also happen to be some other objects that land into my circle, which I grab and call them my own. These are my worldly possessions. I find my own activity and sustenance within my circle. The cartman sees that I am managing on my own, so he does not bother about me. But if I am aware that the circle and activities therein are of no particular use, since I have to eventually move on and reach an unknown final destination, I just keep quiet. Then the cartman notices and takes care of my food, etc. When the cartman decides to move along after his rest period, I, I also have to move along. When another rest period comes, I find different surroundings, that is a new life, and a different set of objects and other beings sharing my new circle. After many such rest periods of the cartman, that is different lives for me, eventually the cartman reaches his destination and frees me too by removing the chain with which I was tied to the cart. That is my final liberation. The freedom to act is within a limited area. The basic path and the major milestones are already laid out for me. In between, I may be able to take small diversions, but I have to come back to the path laid out for me, as if I am tied to it. I'll stop here today. I'll see you the next time. Until then, bye.